Yeah, hi there. These comments are for, I'm going to use your initials R, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And you completed an integrated writing practice test number 1, right? So here we are. So let's read it. The reading passage in the talk discuss issues and important ideas. Ideas and issues have the same meaning, so that's wordy. So the reading passage in the talk discuss the ideas of meeting attendance, required reading materials, and employees, put apostrophe or productivity. How about this? It had to say, how about report writing there? So I think I'm going to make a slight change here now. Even though you didn't show that the reading passage and the talk are different or oppose each other, you did include you're putting them together, explaining the main points, but you didn't include all the main points. So this is how I would revise your introduction. So the reading passage in the talk discussed the ideas of meeting attendance, required reading materials, employees report writing. How about this, to make it a little bit better? Business success. I think that's even better. So now we have a little bit better introduction. Again, the reading passage in the talk discussed the ideas of business success relating to meeting attendance, required reading materials, and employees report writing productivity. Now we've exactly explained the 3 key points as they relate to the reading passage in the talk. So you say first, in the reading. Again, you don't even need to use the preposition. What if you just say the reading passage mentions employees will need to attend meetings and companies should schedule word order problems, as many meetings as possible. That's what you want to say there. So you're having some word order and parallel structure problems here. You might want to write down these key ideas. So put down word order, put down parallel structure. That tells you that those are 2 things you want to improve upon in the grammar part of my course. You say the reading claims that meetings are effective for discussing controversial issues. S. So the plural S ending is better here. Also, the reading explains that every employee, I would use this, say, should be up to date with the current technology needed to complete their jobs. However, the talk claims that the employee's time is very important. There's no need to waste time on unnecessarily long meetings. So I don't think it's not saying that don't go to any meetings, but it's saying don't go to really long meetings, or limit the number of meetings that you should attend. So you have to be careful that you don't change the meaning of anything there. So if you go back to the reading, or if you go back to the lecture here, see what the lecture is saying. The lecture is saying is limit the number of meetings you schedule. It says, make clear you can only stay for the first 60 minutes, right? So you have to make sure when you summarize that you don't change the meaning of what you're actually representing there. You say, in fact, the talk says employees should use technology like phones and emails instead of wasting time on too many meetings. See, secondly, the reading states that employees should be provided with supplementary reading materials that help them perform their jobs more effectively. Also, the reading says employees always, I'm going to put here, should always be encouraged. Change this to an infinitive because it's a potential event, not a completed. They should always be encouraged to read all documents in their entirety. So put down this in your notes. Gerunds and infinitives, distinguishing gerunds from infinitives. Also put this in your notes. Be more concise in your writing. That's another thing you can improve on. Okay, let's keep going. On the other hand, the talk claims employees should not read everything because this is a waste I'll change it here. This is a waste of their time. Actually, the talk states that employees should not read I don't know, actually, I'm going to give you another word. How about cause effect? Therefore, the talk states that employees should not read the all. You don't want to use two noun markers in a row typically. So I'm going to say should not read all documents even if you need a subject and a verb here, even if they come from their boss. I think we're good there. You say finally, the reading claims that employees should write reports and try to take all the steps of the writing process. This is not, I would say, and try to use all the steps of the writing process. Also, the reading states that employees should not separate the documents due to the So what you said is not entirely accurate. They're not saying to separate documents, but the reading is stating that employees should not separate the steps in the writing process due to that, I'm going to say because it is, I would say. It's a better way to say that. Because it is time consuming. In addition, the reading mentions that employees should write all the documents. If you say all here, there's no reason to say it here. That's redundant. Put that in your notes. Redundant. Avoid using redundant or repetitive expressions. See, on the other hand, the talk states employees should use academic writing. No. They should follow the steps in the writing process. The reading mentions. The reading mentions. Yeah, I think you're getting confused here. So this part here is just not accurate. So sometimes when you're re-explaining ideas from the reading passage in the lecture, sometimes you're not accurately representing the information. That is a problem. Never do that. I mean, obviously you're still learning English and you're trying to get better at this, but when you're doing summaries at the graduate level, you have to completely and accurately explain the information here. So what does it really say here? So we need to check. We need to see what we're trying to explain here. So it's saying that employees should not separate the steps in the writing process because it is too time consuming. They should write the document all at once. That's it. Now when we go to the lecture to get the same information so that you can understand what you're trying to re-explain here, it's saying to follow the steps in the writing process. See that? Then it says, a better approach separates the main steps in the writing process. First, number one, compose an outline. Number two, write a rough draft. Then go over the work and revise as needed. And then do some phrasing and so on. That's what it's saying here. However, this is not what you have said here, so you have misrepresented some of that information. Okay, now let's figure out your score. Okay, here are the actual rubrics, right? So, in order to get a score of 5, you have to get a 4 or higher. You have to make sure you don't have what's called, you can have minor omission, inaccuracy, vagueness, and incorrectness, but I think yours is more than that, so I'm going to put you in the 3 range here. So your response conveys an inaccurate, incomplete, or imprecise connection of ideas. Sometimes you do that, right? So you've had some problems with that. So I'm going to put you right now, I think this fits you pretty good, fits you pretty well here, 3.25 out of 5. This is going to put you at 21 points out of 30 on this particular writing task. As you can see, I also made some editing suggestions and corrections with what you wrote. But the most important thing is you have to be a little bit better at correctly and accurately explaining the information from the reading and the lecture. That's really your big issue. Now, if you go to our class to see a 3.25 on the writing, this is going to put you at 79% on this writing assignment. Now, my recommendation is, I think it'd be a good idea for you before you do the actual final exam, I actually recommend that you complete 2 or 3 more integrated writing practice tests. They're not graded. They won't affect your grade at all, but I'm telling you, this is going to really help you do better on the final exam. So if you want to, you can complete any of these practice tests whenever you want. Just send me a quick email when it's done, and I'll make sure that my teaching assistant scores your writing practice test in about 24 hours. All right, anyway, thank you very much. Yeah, there's one more correction I want to put in here with this sentence here. Say, in addition, the reading mentions that employees should write the document all at once. Right? I think that you said should write the documents, should write all the documents all at once, but I would just say here should write the document all at once, right? Without following the steps in the writing process. That seems to be the main thing there.